We have now 2 minutes. We have now 2 minutes. We are.
We always wait.
Make some 2 minutes and.
Let's have like a countdown. So.
This is a complicated.
So we'll start with Renilda.
We start with Harald.
Der Mimba? Dima vielleicht? Die Technik ist immer ein Surprise.
Ja.
Die Technik ist immer eine Überraschung. Oh, da kommt Panasonic. Sag etwas, Harald, damit die Leute nett finden.
Ja, ja.
Anschalten, weil dann ist nicht zu spät. Oh Gott, das war meine. Vielleicht ausschalten, wieder einschalten. Kann jemand einen Witz erzählen?
Weil wir müssen ja auch nicht so fließen.
Doch schon. iPad ausschalten und einschalten.
Ja, geht. Ich habe es ja vorhin auch, das Klima.
Ja!
So, that's a good signal, and I'm very happy to see you all here in Mitte Frankfurt at the Agency of Urban Change. City of Frankfurt aims to create structures in which various stakeholders from the city, society, initiatives, administration, and politics can come and work together. The intention is to work out long-term goals and visions for Frankfurt city center, develop content and implement concrete measures. Participation is definitely welcome, and so we are so delighted that you... Oh. Yeah, I should take this. Yeah, we are so delighted that you all have come to in such a large number here, and I would like to warmly welcome in this roundtable our guest from Tirana. Firstly, who have come to Frankfurt on the occasion of our European Cities Art Network project. So there's on my side Renilda Hyseni, Head of Department of Urban Metro Planning and Projects from the City of Tirana. And Jonid Jorgji, Director of the Agency of Creative Industries, the Municipality of Tirana. And we are looking forward to have a lively discussion with Stefan Böhm-Ott, who is Planning Officer of Frankfurt and Main, Head of the City Center Department of Planning and Housing. Yeah, we are Cornelia Heier, also member of our Artists Association EULENGASSE for many years, and a visual artist, sculptor, and an active designer in public spaces. Yeah, and myself, Harald Etzemüller, I'm an architect and co-founder of EULENGASSE, which is a non-profit artist-run exhibition space in Frankfurt-Bornheim. And yeah, what's the occasion? The occasion is cities worldwide have to adapt to new circumstances. The climate crisis and social inequality are the biggest challenges which while the growing online trade is also having an impact on city centers. So how do you develop a city that masters these challenges and in which everyone feels comfortable? This is the question facing politicians in Brussels, Berlin, Frankfurt, and in Tirana. That's what we want to know. With the European guidelines of the new Leipzig Charter, the post-Corona city program and the integrated urban development concept Frankfurt 2030 plus, concrete proposals have been elaborated. But transforming the sustainable city for all from theory into practice is something we all have to do together. Renilda, you have brought a specific urban planning project from Albania, the remodeling of Standard Square in the heart of Tirana. And yeah, we want to know why is this project so important and can serve as a model for European cities, and in which context this project has been elaborated. You brought a presentation which shows us some of this.
Hello. I'm Renilda.
Moment.
Municipality of Tirana. Our department is divided in 4 sectors. The sector of general and local plans, the sector of projects, designs and competitions, and the sector of GIS database. I will make a short presentation which will be focused in planning, public investments and future vision. As you may know, in 2014 in Albania the territorial reform law was approved. Before 2015, Tirana has a surface of 41.8 kilometers square and only 11 local units. Nowadays, the surface of Tirana is 1,121 kilometers square and 24 local units. The municipality has enlarged the boundaries by 27 times. This is the model of the new development of the Tirana, where the polycentric character of a radial city is very obvious. In terms of inhabitants, Tirana, from a city of 100,000 inhabitants before to a city of 1 million inhabitants. This map shows the strong natural elements of the territory of the municipality, highlighting its main axis from north to south that joins the two lakes, the lake in the north and the artificial lake of Tirana in the south. Two rivers, the north one and the south one, and this map serves as a basis to identify the natural values of the territory. On the other hand, this is a map with the name of places and neighborhoods that presents a social and historical analysis of the city of Tirana. As you can see here, in urban part, these designations or these names are denser, which is related to the density of these spaces. Here you can understand the density of the public space as close as the city center as possible. From 2017, the Municipality of Tirana has a general plan approved, which has been drafted by Boeri architects. This plan is being implemented, and foresees the development of the city until 2030. It has several important urban principles, among which we can mention the densification of the center of the city and the creation of the orbital forest in the perimeter. Here you can see the new green corridors of the city, and it provides a balance between urban and nature. In these two sketches, you can see the densification of the city of the center and the orbital forest and the development in the suburb with low buildings and low density. The main boulevard undoubtedly remains the largest public space of the city of Tirana, which is also its spinal axe in the center of the city. Its construction has gone through several stages of time. The first phase was the construction of the boulevard in the Italian period. It was reconstructed in the communist area. And the second phase is the extension of the northern boulevard, it is as length as the existing one. To make a description of the strategic projects and investments in the last years. This is the project of a part of this boulevard, Zogu First Boulevard, that has been constructed recently. It has finished in 2021. It is designed by a local studio, Heier studio, and it is conceived as a shared street and a large public space. It is not only an axis that connects two edges of the city, but also joint spaces with different public qualities. It's about 630 meters in length with a width of 35 meters. And in this project, sidewalks extend from 4 meters to 8 meters, transforming it in a pedestrian-friendly boulevard. Here we can see the improved quality of public space and the preservation of social and cultural context. In this boulevard, there is a main green corridor where is a bicycle line and is very friendly for pedestrians. It has all the time shadow, even in summer. Here we can see that this project has provided space for public arts, and we have some installations in some parts of it. It's very important to mention that in this acts there are some main institutions, and this project has removed the barriers and improved the access to them. These are some photos. Sculptor Square is our paired, let's say, in Tirana, and the biggest project. It was designed by 51M4E Studio with the team leader Johan Aris and the local famous artist Anna Sala. Here we can see a photo of this square in a period when in Tirana there were no vehicles, or there were very few vehicles before 19s. And this is an old photo. This is a photo in the first years of 2000, where we can see some developments in the surrounding areas. This is an intervention that has been done in 2010, and it's more like a roundabout, and the traffic was not solved.
It was a terrible one.
And here we have the images of the nowadays Skanderbeg Square. The square presents itself as a void in a chaos of the city, a flat pyramid lined in the center of it, and it has a greenery belt in all surroundings. The greenery belt negotiates the transition between the congested city and the square. Here, the square is surrounded by important institutions and monuments. When staying at the top of the pyramid, the citizens find themselves as part of the communist architecture. It offers free movement in a dense urban context, and all that plaza is surrounded by 12 public spaces and gardens. There is an old photo and a new photo after the intervention. This project has found a solution of access and connection in the main existing axis. By creating these 12 gardens in the belt, this project aims to create a new urban ecology for the city. Local species like trees, shrubs, flowers were combined to foster urban biodiversity and control the city center's microclimate. These are some other images, and specific attention was given to mobility, and after that plaza is an underground parking garage that is developed in collaboration with the city mobile services.
Maybe you say something about the water and the water fountain.
Yeah, there are two fountains, I think, in the square, and it provides a good climate in the summer because it's cool water and people can wash there.
Yeah. In general, now in summer, children
play
with it. So it's like a fountain, but it's very friendly for kids. It's very nice. Because even the square now in the summer is so hot. So that's why these fountains, this water, it doesn't make it more cooler.
Yes. And something for the local materials that are used. There is the square is paved with different stones from all regions all over Albania, and here we have that carpet with different colors, and it's very nice to see and very interesting. And we have logos with the name of places where they are taken. Okay. This is the project of the new boulevard, the extension in the north part of Tirana. The boulevard duplicates the length of the existing one, and it's part of the master plan of the Grimshaw architects, which includes the extension of the city in the north, creating so a new structured neighborhood. This project is designed by Grimshaw Architects, a studio from London. Now has finished the infrastructure part of that project. We'll see some photos, and the neighborhood and the master plan is implementing day by municipality because they are private properties. Here are some principles of that master plan that the municipality must have in consideration while implementing. Streets are public space, great streets are great for business, streets can be changed, the width of them. It's a design for safety, and we have a regulation for the facade of the new buildings. Here we have some images of the main axis of the boulevard because it's surrounded in both parts by large public spaces. Here is the boulevard at night after the construction by day. Okay. This is the new project. It is the new bazaar. The new bazaar, maybe everyone who come in Tirana visit it. It's very famous. It has finished the construction in 2017. It was designed by a local studio, Atelier 4. It's a dialogue between the present and the past, old and new. A dialogue between business and citizens, a representation of historical conversation of all areas. Here we can see the old images, how it has been before and today. It's good for food, for different activities. An important element of the project is the pavement of that urban space, which is used as a mean of communication. Terracotta, it's always terracotta, covers the square, taking us back in time to Tirana's old neighborhoods of clay walls and tile roofs. The idea to use the traditional carpet, the motifs of the carpet as a background makes a fine tablecloth that invites tourists.
In the background?
There are big motifs.
Yeah, even in facades, even in the carpet and the terracotta, the tiles that have been paved, all that surface. We have to mention that it's not in the main axis of the boulevard, but it's about 500 meters from that axis, and it's an acupuncture intervention. It's a symbol of urban life and destination of commercial and cultural center. Here are some other images. Okay, and finally, the Pyramid of Tirana is the latest project. I'll make a very, very short presentation because my colleague will continue with the Pyramid. It was built as a museum dedicated to the former communist leader Renilda Hyseni. The Pyramid was opened in 1988, but closed only 3 years later. The project is realized by MVRDT Studio in 2018 and has finished in last year. These are some old images of Pyramida. It has lost the function. It's before the construction.
Maybe 10 years old.
Okay.
Yeah, no, but it's for all these years it has lost the function. It was
Okay.
not. Yeah. And this is the image of the Pyramida today.
Today.
It's the sloped facade and roof of the pyramid are lined with steps constructed using aggregate, the original stone tiles that covered all the facade, and we followed with steps, and you can go at the upper point of pyramid. It's very interesting because it's a large public space, even outside, even inside. So it's unique. This is the interior of Renilda. Thank you.
So a lot of information for us.
Microphone, please.
Yeah, thank you. Oh,
Questa è tecnica. È? Ui, ok, muso di Andre Benut.
okay. Thank you, Renilda, for this very interesting short overview of the newest projects of Tirana and city planning. And
È wieder da?
okay. And yeah, we had some very interesting insights, and we will discuss later. Maybe we can go to Jonid's performance and presentation.
So please, if you find first of all, I want to thank you very much for hosting us here, and because this place is amazing. It is very inspiring. Even the mood of this place, it's so good, and I'm happy to assist in this place and to talk with you all, guys. No, you can do this one. To talk about Tirana and to talk about a little bit of Albania and creative industry. So for me, I'm very happy because I think for the first time we came from Albania to give a good example, a positive example, and not to talk about illegal immigration or illegal stuff. I'm happy now to talk about it. So, as my colleague Renilda said a lot, has done a very good presentation about our biggest projects in Tirana. I will tell about some other smaller projects for public spaces that our agency has created in this 2 years and a half. So what you heard is that our agency is a brand new agency. It's like a 2 year and a half that were created in the Municipality of Tirana, and it was one of our challenge to create this agency, because the creative industry is never heard in our country before. So we heard a lot about art, technology, fashion design, less. But now we have this, we create this agency to support all these fields in this industry. So in these 2 years and a half, we have done a pretty good job. Not to be honest, because we have helped a lot the artists in Tirana, but not only in Tirana, but even the artists that come to Tirana from abroad to have their performance, their exhibition, their production in Tirana. We have created some public spaces in 2 years and a half. That was one of our main focus, because we have like 3 focus in our strategy for
these 2 years. The first is to revitalize some abandoned public spaces in our city. So, in the 90s, most of the public spaces that used to be, I don't know, military service spaces, some spaces of the fabrics, industrial spaces, were abandoned. They couldn't make it to the open market in a democracy. So they were abandoned for like more than 30 years. And some of the spaces were located in very important location in our city, in the centers. So to see that this abandoned place in the center of Tirana now, it was so ugly. So we tried to start with some very typical and very famous and very artistic places that used to be before. We started. I will tell you with what we started, but I will tell the 4th mission that we have. So the second mission is to support the creative industries in any way, financially, to support them in infrastructure, and to support them even with human resources. And in these 2 years and a half, we have produced, we have support, and we have helped a lot more than 300 projects and initiatives that came from artists from Tirana, creators from Tirana, and even from abroad. The third mission is to educate, and through for the creative industries, so that we can have a next generation, a new generation that knows how to be part of the creative industries, that know how to promote the creative industries, and a generation that can learn from the creative industries. For the first time in Albania, we have started a program for kids that can learn about art, that can learn about history, geography, biology, through art, with cinema. So this was our first program. So we are very into it, that we can involve more, a little bit more. And the fourth mission for us, that I'm very proud because I'm a filmmaker, was to create a film office in Tirana. So practically a film office, for every one of you that knows more about the film industry, is a film commission. So it's an office in the city that tends to bring in our city as many production or audiovisual production that they can promote our city, they can spend our money in our city, they can hire professionals from our city. So in these 2 years that this office was created, we have brought in Tirana like 20 good productions. And believe me, for Tirana is very big, because this we had like 0 years before. And 2 months before, we had in Tirana for the first time the official commercial of Motorola, so it was very important for us. That is what our 4 missions that we have. That what I was explaining, we have like 3 years of different experience, and 450, it was a lot more than I said before, 450 project initiative that we have support. We have like 4 spaces that now we manage and we have revitalized. And like 130,000 people that was an audience for all our events that we have created. So the first that I'm really happy to introduce, the first public spaces that we revitalized was Agimi. Now it's Agimi Art Center, but years before was called Cinema Agimi. Cinema Agimi was one of the most famous cinema of our city. Built in the 50s. The Russians built it. It was one of the most famous cinema in our city. But also as a cinema, but it has worked even as a place where a lot of
culture,
not only culture, but another bad event that happened in the communism there. It was a space where many dictator judgment were executed there. So a lot of courtroom, and a lot of intellectual or Albanian intellectual or Albanian artists were judgmented there. So it was even a bad space. From the 90s till now, it has his period of changing and more very difficulties and challenges. But now, 2 years ago, we had this duty to revitalize it, to renovate it. We started working with this project, saving this architecture of this space, and giving this space an artistic touch with the art students of our city, of our schools, of architectural schools and art schools. And now this place, last year in June, we inaugurated this place, and I'm happy to say right now that this place right now holds like 3 different events per day, and we host like 500 people per day there. And like in the last 2 months, we opened even the basement of this space. That even this place was a part of this communist area that used to be like, or in the Cold War, like a place where people can hide from the enemy. That never happened. But now this place, it is like a small hub for DJs, for party, for art exhibition. So it's a very good place right now. So for Agimi Art Center, I'm happy that we give to the city this place because it is important that it's a dynamic place that every day happens different things. The second is another cinema. That's why I'm a filmmaker, so I tend to pick up the cinemas. It was an old cinema also, this one. It's called, the first name of this cinema, it was a communist name, like a Red Star before. And it was projected by this architect, a well-known architect in Albania, that is called Max Vedo. This is why the name is Max Vedo. And even this place, after the 90s, has different changes, was abandoned for many years. Some years in the beginning of the 90s because they couldn't afford the open market of the cinema industry. They became an adult film cinema for some years. And now the municipality and our agency start working on this project, and we renovated. With even to this place, we saved the architectural style of this great architect that we have. And now in May of this year, we inaugurated this place. Now we held here film festivals. We have held here poetic evening.
Poetry.
What a change from adult cinema to
poetry.
It's a big change, but in this neighborhood, it's not in the central. It's a very big.
Very important.
Very important. And we screen some films, some good films, like some European films. So even it is very new for the city, and even it is very new for this neighbor. Now we host in this cinema like more than 300 people per day, every day. So I'm happy that in this center now, in this neighbor, now we have a new dynamic of cultural life. So the cinema has done a very good job. Nomad Art Residence in Tirana is a new project that we haven't still inaugurated it, but we are working on it, and I think in October will be the opening ceremony. This building that you see here used to be the first rehab center in Tirana. So in the 90s, they some Catholic church built it, and from the 2000s it was abandoned for many reasons. It was part of the private sector. With a deal with them, with agreement. Now we are trying to do a residency for artists and for digital nomads. Digital nomads right now in Tirana, they're increased a lot. So every year we increase like 3 times to digital nomads in our city. So there are very good potential for the economy and for everything that for the CCI in our city. So we are working on this. We are working on this residency where we will have different programs for arts, for technology, for different kind of art. We will have different kind of events. So now we have started like 2 months ago. We have started with the events there. So we have done some concerts. We have done some exhibitions. So we are doing every week different events till the day that it will open. So it will be very important for city and even for this place where it's located, because it's not in the center of the city. It is in a village near Tirana called Heier. So it is a village that it hasn't too much to do there. So it will be a focal point for this part of Tirana that will be revitalized even all the village with this residency. And the fourth space is a Microfolie. Microfolie, in fact, is a French brand. We have brought in Tirana. We have brought it in Tirana in 2022. It used to be. It is in many cities around the world. In Paris, in Berlin, it's everywhere. Microfolie. It is a digital museum for kids, so kids can learn about art with playing with it. Playing with our iPad, so playing with it they can learn more about art. We brought it in Tirana like 2022, permanently, no, temporarily, for like 6 months. But we had very good feedback from the kids and from their parents. So in 6 months we had like 24,000 kids visiting the space. So we decided to bring it here in Tirana and in Pyramid permanently. So now we host there like 150 kids per day. So it is a place where kids come, and like this 150 is now in summer, and it's not the best period in Tirana. In autumn will be much more. So it is a place where kids learn a lot about the masterpiece of world art masterpiece. So they can learn about playing with this art masterpiece. And thinking, learning more about the project, more about the author, etc. So and even it's a good place even for their recreational abilities, because they do courses there for painting, for music, etc., etc. So it is they have different activities there and different things to do. So Microfolie, we have inaugurated in June, and now we are in September, and we have very good.
This year.
Yes,
In June.
this year. Yeah. We are human, as I say. And the Pyramid of Tirana, as Renilda talked before, was a mausoleum. So never worked as a mausoleum. In the 90s, was different purposes of function. So it was somehow art center, somehow a discotheque, somehow I don't know, different. But the most mumia. But you know what was the most useful thing? The pyramid in the 90s was like a big slide, because kids climb to the top and then slide to the bottom of this.
Oh, really?
And it was a very dangerous thing. So a lot of accidents. And right now we have changed it. The Municipality of Tirana, with the help of American Albanian Foundation, has done a very good job. We have now you cannot slide because it's with steps. So it is very difficult to slide.
But there are some slides.
No, there is none.
It's not
It is that just a, but it's not, you cannot go. So this place right now, it is a very good and a very important innovation hub, not only for our city but even for the region. So we are proud of it because for the first time a building in Tirana is part of the most iconic architectural magazines in the world, and we have won some prizes and good prizes with it. So it is a very good, it is very catchy, and it's a very focal point even for tourists. So as you see to the Renilda's photo, it was full of tourists, especially the top of this. The top of this building is full of tourists, and the side of it is like an innovation hub. A lot of innovation initiatives, a lot of art initiatives, a lot companies that have to do or startups are taking places in this space. Microphone is part of this space, and we are working to grow it more, so kids can come to visit, to play, to learn more. So there we have the Tumo Center, that is one innovation school for kids, and very soon we will have even École 42, School 42, that is a French brand for school for coding. That will be part of it. We'll have Plug and Play, that is for startups in creative industries, and we will have even more others. So this is what we do as an agency, and what the municipality has done in these 10 years, I think, for public spaces. We have a lot to do, but believe me, it's not easy. It is very difficult, especially to think for where and where we came from. So our generation, my generation, I was an artist in 2000, I was a student, and it was very difficult to have spaces for creative or for art exhibition or for screening just a film. And now we are in a stage or in a time where we held in Tirana the Balkan film market, the European film market, where we held a different festival. Tomorrow we will inaugurate the second edition of European Film Young Festival. That is a big one. We were like the capital of youth 2 years ago. This 2025 will be the capital of Mediterranean culture and dialogue. So we have done some good steps. We have a lot to do, and we have a lot to learn and to collaborate with other entities, other organizations, other initiatives like you and like this project. That is very useful, I think, and it's very beautiful, and it connects us and spreads ideas with each other. So thank you again for listening to me. And sorry if I was a little bit long, but
no, not too long.
I hope it was not boring.
No. Wow. It feels like an ocean time the last 10 years for you, for all the people who build these ideas and realize these ideas. Really, wow.
Yeah, it is very inspiring also for me to hear your this big impact that you created in the last years. And on the other side, you have a municipality who is aware of what could be a future for the city of Tirana, and does a big investment. Also in money, not only in creativity, to develop that urban spaces that you presented, but also in having a vision in terms of how it could be in some 10, 15 years. Yeah.
I want to express only one thing about the vision of our municipality and our agency. Like 10 years ago, the economy of Tirana was covered like more than 70% by the manufacturing. So people that, especially women, that work in manufacturing. So the pay was not good enough. It was very low. specific was not so good, it was very difficult. And with this kind of mindset that we have to invest in creative industries, in different fields that can give us money more in the future, now we have this 17% of the economy that came only from the creative industries and coding and IT, technology and digital industry. So it has, in 10 years, it has become a very good change. I mean, a lot of young guys, they are part of these big companies that now have this established in Tirana, like Lufthansa is one of these biggest IT office in Tirana, and like more than 2,000 young people work for it in like an IT. So, like this company, we are growing a lot, and this was like a mindset and a philosophy that we want to invest even in the future. That's why we are bringing in Tirana Roundtable, that is one of the most iconic schools for digital and IT services. So we are happy to. No, we are not happy, in fact, but we are decided to develop this industry more and more, because I think it's not only my opinion. Country like us, that are a very small country, we cannot compare with the industry with country like Germany or France or Italy. We cannot compare even in other services that we don't have a very good tradition. But we have one potential. We have our mind.
Yeah.
So our mind, our imagination, our creation, it's something that we have, all of us. All of us here, yeah. The new one. Yeah. All of one here has this kind of powerful in their head. So why not to use it? That's why we want to invest on this thing. We want to invest in this kind of industry because it is an industry that gives back all this investment very soon, and it is very sustainable. That's what I think.
You gave a good keyword, which is comparison, and I would negate that because a comparison is not that what brings us further. We want to have good insights that you gave us here, that we could learn from each other. And this is what I think future development could be, even if countries are that different that you said. You cannot compare Germany with Albania, and but what we can have with this insight is to learn how you can manage very new things,
ideas,
good ideas in a short time.
Yeah.
In a short time,
Yep.
and yeah, that's what I have learned now from this presentation at first. Maybe I will introduce also Stefan in this discussion, because he is responsible for also this place and this project, and maybe you can insert this in the discussion first.
This place?
Okay. This place was founded, I think, 2 years ago. It's a house which is owned by the City of Frankfurt, and the idea is to open spaces for new uses. The problem in Germany, especially in Frankfurt, is each square meter has a price. So the idea to open spaces for alternative use is realized here. Anybody can come who have an idea to make anything. We have in lunch every Wednesday, I think. People come to school, so classes from schools come here to learn about the city of Frankfurt. EULENGASSE is here to make this evening, and so this is a space which is maximum open. Yes, that's the idea of the space. It's not ready. We will invest at the end of the year about €1 million in this. Perfect. It's yes. German laws are very strict, so we have some problems with electricity. And so, yes, it's not as easy as it seems. Yes, it's perfect, I think. So it's one puzzle of our ideas for the city of Frankfurt is to open spaces for alternative use. That's
even our mission. Our agency is even our mission. So this is why we open these alternative places for arts, for creators, and where they can have all their performance there, but even they can network with each other there. So in every place that we have like a space for co-working. So it is free of charge, with no fee. So artists and creators can sit, can work, can have their desk there. And but that works a lot because it is a place where they can meet each other. So they can meet each other and they can start collaborating with each other.
Hopefully this will work with the good administration of these places, because as you know, the one thing is the venue, the space, and the other thing is how to get into these new structures that you explained. How is it possible for creative people, let's say visual artists, to get a studio with a group of is that possible? That easy that I'm inventing now?
So if any one of you is an artist, you know very well that for artists it's always difficult. It's never easy. And this is part of being an artist. It has to have some big difficulties and big challenges. So it is difficult, but not. With all these initiatives that we are doing it more easier. So in our spaces, it is very accessible for the young, even for the young artists. So they can bring their ideas, their project. They can apply or have send us a letter of intention for what they want to do. We can evaluate this project with our board member, artistic board member, and if we see that it is a promising project or it is good for our spaces, for sure. Like, I don't want to give some percentage right now, but most of the project that has applied to us has found a place where they can exhibit, but even places where they can work. For example, the Nomad Artist Dancer right now, one of the proposals we are opening right now is because the first floor of this space will be for the artists, like a laboratory, like a hub for artists where they can just book this place for different periods, for 1 month, for 2, for 3 months, depends on their work, their project they have. So we will give it them for 0 fee. So it's very good help. So and then we are doing even the interlocutor with the artist and the private sector for this for some other spaces that can use it for 0 fee or for varying the fee as a student.
I think it's important to change old structures into new structures, to change the structures, and so you have a base to change the ideas also and to realize the ideas. And we are in the situation there was no other there was
possibility.
So, to change from the, you mean from to change
the old structures?
Uh-huh.
We all have to change from old structures into new structures.
The structure you mean like buildings, like
no,
space?
not
like
brings that.
Of course, yeah, of course. This is what we are working more and more.
Yeah.
So we are working more and more to change this mindset, if you think. To change the mindset that artists and creators, we have to invest on them. So this is what we are doing.
Yeah.
To be honest, this is what we are doing. And although we are trying to convince the artists that now there are some entities, some structure that can help, not only exist by the faith of the government and that they have to exist, but they exist because they want to do things for their community and for the city also, and for the audience. So this is a three-way of working right now. We are working with all this city environment and this city problematic with the spaces right now, because even in Tirana right now the space costs a lot. For example, in the center of Tirana right now 1 meter square costs like more than 5,000. In the fourth floor, because in the first floor it can go to 10,000 and more. So this is we are facing this problem right now. We are working with an artist, that what I say, to make them believe and to work with them and they to collaborate with us for this new way of thinking and way of working. And we are working with the audience because, unfortunately, in these 30 years, the audience, the art lovers of our city have been disappointed. Have been disappointed not from the artists, but from everything that has happened. And the market of the art was destroyed. So we are working even with the audience to bring them. We are doing a continuous promotion about all the art events and the art projects that are happening in our city with all our channels of promotion. Yeah. So, and to educate even the young audience, even from the kids from 5 to 17 years, to bring them in our spaces, in art center, in cinemas, in theaters, in exhibition, etc.
Yeah, so we heard much about these new venues to collaborate with other artists and having space and having quite good circumstances for entering these. If I think to the artist studios that we have in Atelier Frankfurt, which is a big venue where you can rent the studios for creative people, not only visual artists but also other artists. You have a price list which is differentiated between those who have some support by the City of Frankfurt, and the others have to pay the normal rent. And but this zero price would be fantastic to introduce in Frankfurt, City of Frankfurt studios. But
we have a new project nearby Güterplatz, Neue Teefabrik, new tea manufacture, in cooperation with the owner, a family from Düsseldorf. Different creative artists, price €5, yes, square meter.
low price of that. But then I would come, firstly, before opening to the public, I would come back to some of Renilda's presentations about public spaces. For instance, the Boulevard project, which leads us to think about public space and street design, as we heard. And as an architect and with some urban eyes, I'm very curious about these projects, and also the Bazaar project is a very interesting project because it has a direct connection to the city of Frankfurt, because also we had some bazaars in former times, in medieval times, that was called Schirm. I think some of you know the original meaning of Schirm, which was a covered bazaar, a covered market for the normal daily goods. And so we have a little, here in our old town, new old town, we have a little space where it is reinstalled like a bazaar. Maybe you can say something.
Yes, I think you mean Metzgerschirm,
yes, yes.
The red house in the Altstadt. It's rebuilt, but it's a very small, place belonging to the
Not really a market.
I think we have structures in this way in the quarter around the main station in a different way, but partly transformed. Kaiserpassage was badly changed and new built. It's not that what it was before. Until 10 years ago, it was ethnic economy in a very special way, very interesting. Today it's capitalized. It's a structure as in the city of Frankfurt. So it's quite happy to establish these structures in Frankfurt.
I think you are famous for this Christmas market that are temporary or used in a short period of time of the year before the Christmas or the New Year. These are temporary. But our bazaar is a very important attraction for the city and for the tourists. All the facades, as you may have seen, are decorated with that local motifs and the neighborhoods of old Tirana. So it's very interesting. You have not only one facade, even for the bazaar, but it have even the fourth facade, the fifth facade on the roof of the bazaar, because it's with slope facades with glass and steel, and it reflects the mountain of Daitim that is nearby Tirana. So you have that image in steel and glass, and in front of that you have that silhouette of the mountain of Daitim. And so it's very interesting.
I think it's interesting to bazaar is not its own one place to change. It's a social place and it's not only a place to buy or to sell, but it's a social place. One interesting things are.
In opinion, in old Balkan, bazaar has another meaning. It's more powerful because in Balkan and even especially in Turkey, but even in Albania, bazaar is a place of socializing. Our grandparents, when they go out from home, they don't say, I'm going to a cafe or I'm going to meet a friend. I'm going to bazaar, they say. So it was a very important for us. Even nowadays it's important for us. But we grew up with this mindset, this thinking of bazaar, a place where people will meet especially we'll meet with friends, with people that we don't know, but we will create friendship there. And of course a place where we can find good things to buy or to sell, to both of the ways. So this new bazaar right now is all bazaar for the city, because it's like 100 years right now, bazaar. And it was important before, it was important even in the era of communism. It was important even in democracy, but in the democracy it was destroyed. It was important, but it was such, it couldn't have the standards to be a well done place to meet people. It was dirty, it was everything smelly and very dirty. Yeah. And now the mayor of Tirana, Tirana has insisted to do this bazaar and to do this new bazaar. And now, to be honest, it's one of the main points for tourists. So they spend their time there visiting it. That it has a lot to do, restaurants, bars, things to buy or to sell. So it's
Maybe
important for Tirana.
If we introduce bazaar from this Southeast European culture to our culture here, we can say neighborhoods. Neighborhoods is that where we meet, where in talking when I go to the street where I live since 25 years, I find friends and on the streets and have a talk here, have a talk there, if I go to a shop. So this is the neighborhood thinking of that, and maybe this is part of what we want to develop in creating the or following the new Leipzig Charta ideas of city planning. So neighborhood is the nucleus of how to develop, the surrounding of your living place and living space, not only in spatial dimensions but also in the social dimension.
Maybe I think we have one point which is very similar to Tirana. This is the question of the quality of urban spaces, public spaces in urban context. I think the most ugliest place in the inner city of Frankfurt is Hauptwache. It's the main traffic station. The subways are coming through. People come there, go out, go to work, go shopping, but nobody is thinking about I will stay on Hauptwache. Because it's stone, it's hot in these days. We're starting in October a process about 2 years to try to find out, to define what could be the quality of Hauptwache. We ask people who are there, we invite people to come to talk, to have workshops to recreate this area. That's one point. Second point, we have in Frankfurt the skyline and the high-rise buildings, and one question is, you don't have to like, I don't, it's egal. But it's a very strong picture. From wherever you come from to Frankfurt, you see the picture of the skyline. It's very impressive in a way. One idea we want to create is on the rooftops of Zeil, the main shopping street in Frankfurt City, where we have problems that the city in this area doesn't work really. We try to define, is it possible to define a second level of public space on the rooftops, and is it possible to connect the different roofers with a skywalk, and you can walk on floor 5, floor 6, floor 7, and cross the Zeil over a bridge and have the look on the skyline. Is this an interesting picture? We don't know. we are just trying to find out is this possibly an interesting public space, public in a way that you don't have to consume there. You can walk, you can look, you can sit down, you can read, and you don't have to consume anything. It's one idea, especially on this structure in Frankfurt.
So maybe we open our discussion to you, the public, to have your questions and
ideas.
Or ideas. Yeah, be open to.
Wenn es jemand nicht auf Englisch sagen möchte, kann er es einfach sagen und Harald werde ich versuchen.
Ich habe ein Mikrofon.
Not such a creative idea or question. I'm just curious. What was the reason of this tremendous expansion of Tirana 10 years ago?
Not 10 years.
Not 10 years, more, like 30 years.
Ah, I thought it was 2014.
No, the third year was all these people coming to Tirana, because a city that was like 100,000 inhabitants, it became so with 1 million inhabitants, so 10,000, 10 times more. But it was...
In Albania in 2014, a new law was adopted, the law of territorial reform. And Albania, I think, has had about 300 municipalities with small territory. After that law, we have only 61 municipalities. And Tirana is the biggest, because it's the capital. And we have that huge territory to cover today.
Okay, thank you.
So basically it had administrational reasons, the growth in area of Tirana to get rid of some administrative work or work overload. Because I think, of course, the city...
Mostly was economic reason, because many of people that lived and worked in cities around Tirana, the city were little and they couldn't afford it, they were living there. So most of them, like very big percentage of them, came to Tirana and some others go abroad as immigrants. So all these people that came to Tirana started to build houses, started to buy apartments, started to build, but in an informal way. So this is one of the reasons that it is one of the big challenges of Tirana, because in the 90s, in the beginnings of 90s, even in the 2000s, the building things was so informal. They start building everywhere where they can find some free fields, and it was this big problem. And now we are facing this problem. We are trying to re-see all this urban explosion and to discipline it more. But it's a very big challenge, because all these people that spend all their money, all their lives in these houses that they build, even in informal and illegal way. But we are like a social, no, to be honest, we are a very social community, so that's why we try to find the best way that not to put these people now in the streets, but to see how they can, we can recover our city, but how they can even to put houses for them, to have houses for them.
Affordable.
Also,
Affordable.
maybe also integrate these informal developments into planned development.
Okay,
So another
not
question.
really.
Yeah.
One quick question. Now with the 900,000 new inhabitants. Do all of them already feel as inhabitants of Tirana, or more like inhabitants of their old municipalities? Or how is it working, that growing together of these old municipalities with the core city of Tirana?
Very, very interesting question. But I think this is one of the challenge of every metropolitan. So I think even in Berlin or even in Frankfurt, no ethnic or no incoming from the other city can be adaptable 100%. So we travel a lot in many metropoles in Europe. So we see, for example, the Turkish have their kind of neighborhood, their kind of lifestyle. We see Chinese in other. So it is not so easy to be 100% adaptable in a metropole. But of course, Tirana is more friendly and more affordable than other bigger metropoles, because even the community is smaller. So even our families, our traditional, has to do with hosting people and with feeling them feel like home, because it is one of our most valuable virtues that we have as Albanians. So to the hosting of hospitality. So we do the best. We have a lot to do, but still we have done a good job.
Perfect, thank you.
It's very interesting because comparing this administrative act to incorporate many of these former communes to this big area of City of Tirana, we cannot do that anymore in Germany, because the last administrative change in this style was done in 1977, when Frankfurt incorporated some villages outside. This was the last opportunity to do such an administrative reform, because it was done in the state of Hessen in different cities, including to join two cities to like an artificial city with an artificial name. It was not accepted by the public, by the inhabitants, so that they had to rechange that in these two cities. So there's no possibility to do this, but we do have the same problems as you have. And so we have a region, the Rhine-Main, Frankfurt-Rhine-Main region, and we are trying to establish intercommunal gatherings and joints, and so to solve our regional problems that we do have. Maybe you can say a word about.
It's a quite hard way.
Yeah.
We have Frankfurt has about 775,000 inhabitants. You have a lot of communities between 30 and 100,000 inhabitants, very self-consciousness cities, and they all do their own thing. So it's quite hard. Nearby, the region around Frankfurt has about 5.5 million inhabitants. It's a very large metropolitan area. And it's pretty hard to find regulars to cooperate. It's pretty hard. I think in the Rhine-Main region with the 5.5 million inhabitants, only 4 or 5 cities built housing. Yeah. Frankfurt, Offenbach, Hanau, and that was it. And we have a lot of, we miss a lot of houses in the region, yes. So the cooperation is very, very bad.
I think never say never,
Because in this world that everything is changing a lot every year, and especially in these last years, that the war is happening there, every crazy is happening right now. Everything can happen, but I think that the most important thing is that we have to be aware what we will expect, and what we will canalize all our philosophy or our way of living in a good way.
My experience, I worked 14 years for a regional institution called live-Kanal Frankfurt Main. We seeded very small plants of corporations. It's a very hard job.
We have here. Hey.
Hi. First of all, I have to congratulate Renilda for the beautiful photos that she showed us from the Skanderbeg Square. And I would like to ask you, of course you are happy with the Skanderbeg Square, and but I have to ask you, are the people in Tirana happy with that square?
Contentious question. I'm joking.
In some of the photos, you see that the Skanderbeg Square is crowded of people. The amount of people that frequent the Skanderbeg Square is there are too many people. I work in the municipality that is one of the buildings near the Skanderbeg Square, and all the day you see that there are different groups of tourists that visit the Skanderbeg Square. There are many activities that are held there. For Christmas, it's a market for Christmas. For the European champions of football, there were concerts, and all over there are many activities, and I think that this square has found its function, and it is very attractive even for the evening. One thing I saw last night here in Frankfurt was the light in your plazas. They are a little bit in darkness, I think. Maybe it's my perception. Skanderbeg Square do not have this. It has that positive energy, full of people, with noise most of the time, not that quite this that I saw here. That's my perception, and I think Albanian and citizens of Tirana are happy with Skanderbeg Square.
Okay.
So,
what is your problem?
For my education as an architect and urban planning, I see the Skanderbeg Square like a small Tiananmen Platz. It's Tiananmen.
Tiananmen is not ugly.
It's not ugly.
It has a bad history, but it's not ugly.
No. I'm not saying it's ugly or it's beautiful. Or Genghis Khan Platz in Ulaanbaatar in the Mongol. And I think this square has nothing to do with a European city. We see the typology of a European city with small places surrounded with buildings, and here we see a gigantic space. The photos are beautiful in the presentation, but when you are in this square, you feel so small. The scale, masштаб, the scale is gigantic. It's one of the criteria of the dictatorial architecture from the communist area, from the fascist, even the Nazi regime in Germany. The scale that makes the architecture. And I don't know if those aspects were flown in the conception of this square. Because we have, in the history of Tirana, the square was much smaller. In the communist regime, this square was made a large square by tearing down 3 beautiful buildings. It was the old municipality of Tirana, the Rathaus of Tirana. It's one of the icons of the Italian rationalism. And of course, the Kursaal. Yes, Kursaal. Es war ein Gesellschaftshaus. It was a society house built from Austrians. And therefore this square was made much larger for the communist regime. Now at this time, is it appropriate that we see the same scale, the same square as before?
So, if you want an opinion, sorry to...
perhaps from my colleague, Renilda.
But I think it's a personal perception. I agree with you for this monumental building because they are out of the human scale, these buildings that you mentioned, but being on the top of that flat pyramid, you have a new vision and a new point of view for that scale. Even for me, when I went there for the first time, it seemed that I was smaller at that square. But if you see it all with all the surroundings, and when you visit it more than once, you find yourself in a new space and a new dimension. And that perception, I think, is very attractive and invites you to go more and more. And the feeling, I think, is very positive, and I feel comfort. Personally, I feel comfort in that square. Maybe it's very personal. And
can I add something just for every one of you that have the chance to visit Tirana, and I hope you will visit very soon because we'll be very glad to host you there. This square has different perception and has different debates, and you're right on your perception because it is important that because many people have this kind of perception. I will give you mine just to talking about public spaces and community gathering spaces. So this square before, this place before, was not a square. It was just a boulevard for cars and very little for people, pedestrians, because it was a street for cars. So our way of living, especially in Mediterranean and Balkan region, but especially in Albania, we love hanging out with each other and gathering together in even big groups or in small groups, and gathering even for partying, for having concerts, for having different events. So we needed a space only for pedestrians, but in a square way where we can have events or meeting with each other, etc., etc. And one of in the beginning when I saw this square right now, I was doubt like you a little bit just to see the feeling of the people in this big square, how they can feel, etc., etc. You know what changed my mind right now? Because I see every day that this square is full of people, and it's full of tourists, and it's full of Albanian and Tirana's people that every evening, every afternoon hang out with each other. Each place there is one of the crowded places in our city. Look, it is typical the places of our kind of way of living style. So I think it works like this. Maybe it has things to change or to be better, but it works,
Like
in my opinion. In a community way of living. So this is what I'm saying.
This was my experience. This was my experience with the place, with the square. I was in Tirana last year, and for me, I have different moments in the place. And the place is big. It's rare. But it's just, we have different moments, in moments with the church, moments with the park, moments with the waters, moments with the people. It's very interesting for me. More questions?
And do you have in the city any other decent workplaces who can the people meet? Or it's only this place is the only one?
No, we have different.
And it's with the old city, or it's also new?
No, some are old, some are new, but especially in the boulevard are old ones, because boulevard has like more than 4 or 5 places where people, there are like mini plazas or where the people can come. They are built in time of Italian occupation, most of them.
First tree and then...
Ladies first.
No, sorry, not close.
And do you are planning other squares in the new boulevard, or is it only one that big boulevard?
The extension of the boulevard has a grand park, let's say like Central Park in New York, in Manhattan. And it's a very big space. I think is one of, or let's say 25% of the whole territory of the extension of the main boulevard. The boulevard in the north, the extension in the north, I had in my presentation. Also, we have identified many pocket parks, let's say, in the whole territory of Tirana that are public spaces that these citizens who live in these neighborhoods can access, but they are smaller. They are not in that dimension of the main square.
So it is here.
They are in all the towns, small spaces, let's say in every neighborhood or in every street.
I lived 80 years in Tirana, and the old Tirana was green. But now Tirana is all the better. That's a problem. And the square in the summer is
Yeah.
you can go through the square. The whole woman cannot go into the square. The people are going there because it's the only big one. Of course. But we have other problems. I think we have to think the green areas in Tirana to do. We have a lot of orange. We have a lot of citrus and other in Tirana. They are not there.
Yes, this is a big challenge. This is a big challenge.
So the urban and the population are very important. The parks.
I think it's part the planning é uma parte do projeto plantar muitas árvores, não é isso?
As you showed in your presentation, the green circle and the green areas are part of the development.
This is the orbital forest that the general urban plan of Tirana has foresees, and it's in all the suburb of the urban area. The orbital forest means an area with low density buildings, maximum 3 floors, and a low consumption of the territory, about 20% of their properties. And when you have construction permit in these areas, you have to plant specific trees, flowers, and shrubs that the municipality has in its regulation of that orbital forest.
So, first of all, big compliment, thank you very much. It's amazing. I was born in Albania. I lived a long time there, and I'm very impressed. I love it, what you're doing. I want to ask you, what about green energy? Are you using anything on buildings that are self-sufficient or anything? That would be the first question. Second question, what are the challenges you're facing creating such projects and taking them through? I mean, we have a lot of administration and all the problems, also Germany is a huge problem. So I'm wondering, do we have in Albania any such challenges? I assume yes, but what are they?
For the green project,
for the green project, I can say that the municipality encouraged green roofs, and there are some new buildings from foreign architects that are in construction nowadays, that they are building that forest even in their facade or in their rooftops. One example, I think, is the Heier architects. He is implementing some projects in Tirana with that greenery in facade and in rooftops. I'm not sure, or I'm not the right person to speak, but the government is also implementing some politics for green roofs and greenery in facade. Even the green energy with photovoltaic panels, it's the ministry has a strategy to develop these projects. But I cannot say many details because I'm not.
In Tirana, we are for this green energy and this green ecosystem. We are working in different topics. For example, the lighting of our city. Nowadays we don't use the electric resource. So now we are doing this photovoltaic all around our river.
Because here it is dark.
Yeah. So we can use and you use all this to cover all this lighting of our city. That is very good saving of money and the second is the transportation, the public transportation. Most of the floats of buses now are electric buses. Most of the taxis are electric taxis because they are supported, they are incentivized by the government about this in this green ecosystem. So we are doing some steps. We have a lot to do on it. So, but we have started on it. Then the second question was?
The challenges you face when you have a project or
it's okay.
Hello. So what are the challenges you face when you develop a project or you want to get it through, like a road?
There are different problems, different challenges, and to begin from the biggest one, because it's not easy to build projects in a city or even in a country where it was destroyed years ago you cannot build somewhere where are some buildings, bad buildings, because you have to destroy them first. But to destroy them first, you have to have a lot of other problems, and then to start creating or projecting urban planning or typical architectural project. So this is one of, I think, one of the biggest problems. This is one of the, and to go even to the smallest one, because not everyone, even if we do some projects that can work good and can perform good, they're not, Balkan people are not happy enough, never. So we have to face every kind of reaction about it. Like the new bazaar, like the square, like everything else. So it is something that we have to do. We have to work on different challenges. But I think what I see and what I feel every day is that not a challenge, not a problem has stopped developing it more, or has stopped doing other, creating or dreaming for other bigger projects.
Yeah. I think don't stop dreaming. Don't stop dreaming. I think it's quite a good keyword for closing this discussion. Oh, there's a...
Entschuldigung, weil du hast mir letzte Woche gesagt, Tirana oder Albania hat 100% Energiegerade geschickt.
Ah, yeah, there's was a very interesting fact that Tirana is doing his electric energy 100% from their water resources. So they are completely renewable energies. So here in Germany we do have many problems to solve this 100% quota until 2045. That's our governmental aim. You are done with that.
We are blessed from the God about with these water resources.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now we are using even the God resources from sun. So it's,
this is good to edit this information.
Yeah. So don't stop dreaming. I think this is what we can take with us from that roundtable discussion. Thank you a lot for coming to Frankfurt here. To present your city planning, your ideas, to share these ideas with us, with our critique public, who had very interesting insights. And yeah, and in the end, I can invite you to go to our openings for two interesting exhibitions, Spectaculum here. Jan Kraja, a renowned Albanian artist, will be shown in Ausstellungsraum EULENGASSE at Seckbacher Landstraße 16. Tomorrow night at 7 there will be the opening, and in this space you have a little view of the artworks hanging here on the walls.
Not all.
Not all. They will be completed tomorrow, and the opening of that show will be on Friday night at 6 as a part of the season's opening of the galleries here in Fahrgasse and Rombachstraße. Yeah, and hope you see you on these events again. Thank you.
Das muss der Blatt mir ausmachen, weil er ist online.